Hello internet friends, and welcome to the Legion Beta first look coverage summary video after all of my testing, like 4 hours, for the Fury Warrior, which quite a bit has changed and updated. I will show off some attack animations in the background real quick while I go over what I found to be a little weird. So let's see here. So the Whirlwind Meat Cleaver component, that's a part of Whirlwinding, and then Raging Blowing doesn't have a actual like range indicator. It's kind of annoying. Sweeping Strikes as a talent does not denote the range of the additional hits for Raging Blow or execute to any nearby targets. It's kind of frustrating. The Furious Charge, which I have here right now, is a buff that gives you like a small shield wall when you charge. The little icon is which is a heroic leap, not actual the Furious Charge. So just a small icon bug there. I wish there was a passive added to increase or show the increased HP that you get for being a Fury Warrior. Because you get extra HP now, which is not denoted anywhere that I could find. And Endless Rage, which right here only says generates 50% additional rage, but it doesn't tell you that it's only on white attacks. It's not on specials at all, so it doesn't work on Bloodthirst. So it should just say, you know, your special attacks do not work, or your only generates on basic attacks, so just not communicated well. And then Rampage, this ability is the new nonsense you have for your Fury Warrior, right? It's your huge rage dump or a huge component if you take Carnage, we'll get into in a minute. If you turn away from your target, you stop attacking. But if you like walk away like this, the attack keeps happening. So I don't know if it's a bug or intentional, but like that's like I'm far away and my attack kept hitting it. It only goes on the target you're attacking. So if I go over here and click on this guy and walk over here, it won't attack this guy, right? So I don't know why it's coded like that. It's kind of like a melee penance. I don't know. It's weird. Hopefully that'll get changed or stay the same. I have no idea. Speaking of Rampage, real quick while we're on the topic, Rampage hits 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So after finding out and testing it and being told, it does 100% of your main hand damage hit, then it does 100% offhand hit, and then it does another 100% main hand hit, and the last 2 hits are 200% offhand damage, and then 200% main hand damage. So there's the hits again. That was kind of weird. I probably should do it without the melee animation between the two. There we go. Perfect, that's a lot better. So main hand, offhand, main hand, double offhand, double main hand. That's how it actually does its damage, which is alright, that's fine. Going back over here to your mastery now. So Enrage is your passive, your Bloodthirst, Critical Strikes, or activating Berserker's Rage will enrage you, increasing attack speed by double, 100% attack speed. Not haste, but attack speed, and you take 30% increased damage taken for 6 seconds. Again, not a huge deal, due to the fact of your self-healing, and you have more HP. And the mastery is Unshackled Fury. Same as is on live, you deal more damage while in rage. So staying in enrage windows, super importante. Number 1 best, yes, very good. Your abilities, your main basic abilities, of course, are still Bloodthirst. Has a 40% additional chance to crit, which is base gear right now, makes it a 51%. Again, no trinkets for testing purposes, don't ask. Which is good. It'll eventually be like maybe a 70% chance, so you'll almost always Bloodthirst crit and go into Enrage. Maybe not. That's why you have Berserker's Rage to back you up. Execute's still here. Ignore Frenzy right now. And then there is Rage Regeneration, which is a 2-minute cooldown where you heal for half your HP. Commanding Shout is still here. You get 50% increased max health for 10 seconds. 3-minute cooldown. That's your like raid cooldown. Raging Blow, other part of your bread and butter. Wild Strike is gone, as many Fury Warriors rejoice. Wild Strike is kind of back in Frenzy, but that's a talent, so it's a different little component involved in there. Raging Blow is 10 Rage. It's only usable while in Rage, and you attack with both weapons, dealing a total of so much damage. You do get 2 attacks, technically. It is 2 attacks, so both can intermittently crit. That was an offhand crit right there, see? So both have a chance to crit, but it's 2 attacks totaling up to the amount of damage it says. And then Rampage, which always deals damage as if you were enraged, but it's 5 strikes over 2 seconds, dealing a total amount of physical damage, and it's 50 range. So it's your dump. If you're not spec'd into Carnage, which Carnage, to jump ahead a little bit here, Rampage deals additional damage, And it will use all of your rage to deal additional damage. I'm not sure what the percentage based is. I don't know how that works together. But taking Carnage, which synergizes well with your artifact, I've been told, is very much makes Fury Warrior a builder spender. You build your rage, you get 100, you hit Rampage. That's how you just build it, spin it, build it, spin it, build it, spin it, because you need to make use of this talent and the additional damage therein, which is fine. Otherwise, Rampage is sort of just used as a rage dump. Just, you're capping your rage. You would not want to Rampage, I assume. You never want to Rampage during in rage. So even if you're capping your rage, but you're staying in rage, and you're staying in rage and blows, going crazy ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches, you're not going to want to Rampage because it doesn't gain any benefit, and you're also not raging blowing, which does more damage. Which is also, just like, it delineates the ability right down to, like, use it here, don't use it here. Unless you take Carnage, which is build it, spend it, build it, spend it. So, I'm not sure if you're going to want to use 3 Raging Blows in an in-rage window, or 2 plus a Bloodthirst, due to the fact that you can actually get off 4. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you do 1, 2, 3, and then you hit Bloodthirst, which didn't crit there, so I'm out of the window again. So I would then dump, and then I would, there we go, so 1. So I'm not sure if you'd want to risk Enrage falling off to get 1 extra Raging Blow, because you can always just hit Berserker Rage right there and keep going into it, keep going ham. Because I don't know what you want to do, because you gain extra damage on Bloodthirst, and it does some damage, but it's a little bit weaker than any other ability you would hit. So I'm not a warrior that knows how the rage to damage GCD component math works out. They'll figure that out eventually. It's hard to figure out the math right now, obviously, because of, we don't know. A lot of the tooltips are probably wrong, or placeholder, or the damage is you know, temporary, so we don't know yet. Your tier 45s are not rage tiers, because Avatar's here. So Avatar is no rage cooldown. Overpower, I stacked Frenzy and Into the Fray as much as I could and get as much attack speed as possible. I was trying to stay in rage as much as possible as well to keep the attack speed bonus there. And then 25% haste from Frenzy, and then 10% haste from Into the Fray, because only 2 mobs are nearby me. And I got 7 overpowers in a minute. Overpower feels like out of place. It doesn't feel like it's a good talent. It may be good for PvP, because it's not able to be blocked, dodged, or parried. Maybe it's good for PvP, but Endless Rage, 50% additional rage from your auto attack, super powerful. Avatar, good for crazy burst combos. Just want to hit my notes real quick here, because if you're going to do a crazy burst combo, which is very possible to do, all my buttons are going to be a little weird here for a moment. Pardon me. So, the like AoE burst combo with like Avatar, I guess, if that's what you're going to take it for, it might be good for single target too. I have no idea. I mean, math comes down to a thing. You could Avatar, go for a Bloodthirst, doesn't crit, then you would do this, Dragon's Roar, Wreck, and then Blade Storm. That's like your AoE, like, build there, right? So put up Avatar, lasts a long time. You would fish for a Bloodthirst, well, you fish for Enrage off a Bloodthirst, doesn't crit, then you could D-Roar, this is always crits. Then you want to hit Zerker Rage to get your Enrage buff going for your Mastery. And then you could hit Recklessness, which lasts for 5 seconds, which it's 100% additional chance to critical strike on special attacks. Obviously, Blade Storm does work in that regard. So, and you want to get the Blade Storm last for 6 seconds, so you get 5 seconds of Wreck, but you would get 6 seconds of your Enrage, so it lasts the whole time you're in Blade Storm for the most beneficial damage. So it's possible this could be a thing. You know, right? Avatar, Bloodthirst, nothing happens. You hit Enrage. You would D-Roar, Zerker Rage, Recklessness. They're both off the GCD. You can even macro them together for all you need. You could have like one that doesn't have Recklessness macroed and one that doesn't have, and one that has it macroed. And then you'd hit, yeah, Zerker Rage, Wreck, Blade Storm for your AoE component. So still pretty good burst AoE. I would imagine, I don't know if Arms would have better burst AoE than Fury, but I thought Fury had a really good burst AoE right now too, so hasn't really changed. Side note, I don't know if this is a new animation for a Piercing Howl, but this is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's Commanding Shout. It also has a blue one in Commanding Shout, which is neat as well. Wreck does this. It's a really red version of the same explosion, so like the shouting is pretty neat. To talk about Recklessness for a minute too. Wreck is a 1-minute cooldown, no cost, battle cry, and then you special attacks, 100% chance to crit for 5 seconds. On talking about Recklessness, Reckless Abandon reduces the cooldown by half, so it's a 30-second cooldown, and then you get 100 rage. It does not enrage you though; it gives you 100 rage. So the thing I was looking at with Fury Warrior overall is going on to like the more DPS talent tiers, right? So you've got 75, 75, 60, 75, 90, and 100. Rampage makes your spec very builder spender, right? So you can take maybe Enraging Blows. I tried this with Endless Rage and Frenzy and Carnage. It felt just fine. And Into the Fray is possible. Unquenchable Thirst is 10% and 10 extra rage on your Bloodthirst. Could be good. Into the Fray could be good too. I don't know. This is a scaling talent where you gain haste per enemy within 10 yards. Maybe good, but not probably. So Unquenchable Thirst. So like the Carnage spec is very much like, get to that rage, baby. Go build that rage. Oh, I took the wrong talent. That's right. I took Frenzy. Let's do Frenzy. Stack it all the way up. There we go. Now we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're at 100. They got one more Raging Blow off the end there. So I don't know what the better way to do it is. If you want the haste from Frenzy or not. I don't know, because I need to spend it. Right? The other way you do it, which I'll show in a minute here, is you don't take Frenzy at all when you take Enraged Blows. Which Enraged Blows make Raging Blow build 10 rage instead of spending 10 rage, which might be the easier one. You just build it, spend it, bonk it. Got nothing. Wait a little while. Got nothing. Wait a little while. Auto attack still, bringing it in. We'll spend it 91 there, because we're going to do it again. Nope, no crit. Ooh. Like, the builder spender might be really good at a higher gear level, but taking an in rage at least gives you the chance that your auto attack, or endless rage, your auto attacks are going to gain you a lot of rage as well. So you're at 100, and then spend it. Right? You're going to go back, did enrage there, pop Berserker's Rage to get right back into it. One more Raging Blow, spend it. Bloodthirst, no crit, nothing. So you could... The thing about it is, like, you would want to also, like, wreck Rampage, Bloodthirst, to get your Bloodthirst a guaranteed crit in that 5-second window, and then right back into it. I don't think you're going to be able to get 2 Rampages off in the wreck window. That seems ridiculous. That's a lot. But you could tailor it to make sure that you go right back into the Rage window, which might be good. Again, lots of synergies with your Artifact weapon, which we're not testing right now. But the Builder Spender A and B spec feels very kind of balanced druidy with Fury Warrior. You can go a lot more proc-oriented. You can take Frenzy, which I'll show off here now. Frenzy does have multiple animation cycles for stacking up the haste. So you have your 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike, 4 strike, and then when you're at 5, it's always this backhand swing, which is the same as Heroic Strike, actually. It does have a 0.5 second GCD, I believe. That could be a 1, but I think it's a 0.5. It's really fast. But it could be a 1. I'm just not used to a 1 second GCD, like always, but I think it's like a 0.5 or something ridiculously fast. But it's meant to be weaved, and you want to keep up that haste buff all the time. Because the Frenzy Haste will give you a lower cooldown on your Bloodthirst. Because haste reduces your cooldown on your major abilities. So, I don't know. Reckless Abandon and then Heroic Strike build. This is a weird build. I'll show you this Heroic Strike nonsense right here with I'll just do Reckless Abandon. I'm not gonna really test your main cooldowns, but say Endless Rage, Enraging Blows, Heroic Strike. The Heroic Strike gains double bonus from your Enrage. I would imagine you'd never want to ever use it outside of Enrage. Right? Sure. Endless Rage again to help make you have enough rage to keep spamming this stuff. Enraging Blows as well do the same thing. So, say for example you're in the window and you're just spamming away. I think in this build, you would spam Bloodthirst on cooldown. Because you're just going to be trying to stay in the rage window all the time. Your animation kind of messes up a little bit. But I don't know when you would ever Rampage. Like right now? I guess right here. There's one Rampage. Did I get it? Oh, we got back into the rage window. And then we're going ham. And I'm using, like, the Carpal Tunnel in this spec is ridiculous. I didn't enrage. We'll go back with Berserker's Rage. We'll spam away. Like, I don't know if you can hear my keyboard right now, but this is like a lot of spam. I would imagine you probably could macro Heroic Strike. I don't know if you would. I have no idea. But like, I can imagine the Carpal Tunnel would be savage and not very beneficial. You'd probably have to macro it into an ability. But it's there. Heroic Strike does synergize really well with Reckless Abandon because you're going to have even more abilities going off within the Recklessness window because you have it twice as often. There's a lot going on here. I don't know what you guys think. I almost went over the DPS stuff. Double Time is just one more charge. Second Wind is the healing passive as long as you don't take damage. Bounding Strike is Heroic Leap cooldown reduced and a small speed buff. Stormbolt is here still, but it still does quadruple damage to permanently stunned, immune to stun targets, but Shockwave and Swordbolt's damage looks like it's pretty nerfed, so it's not even going to be useful. Sweeping Strikes now is just one more Raging Blow charge if you're Whirlwinding, or one Raging Blow charge normally, and then Execute can cleave. Possibly good. There are some weird synergies here that I'm not sure about what build will be beneficial. If the Carpal Tunnel version, like spamming Heroic Strikes and Reckless Abandon is crazy good, or if the Carnage Builder Spender with your artifact weapon because you can like build Rage faster, and Rampage synergizes well with your artifact weapon. I don't know. There's a lot happening here for the Fury Warrior. I think a lot has changed. It still feels incredibly like ridiculous. Like it's spammy. It's just like this bloody berserker nonsense. But I'm not sure they'll figure out, you know, rage to damage ratios and how many buttons you can hit so fast. That'll all come down to math that I am not going to be even trying to say that I know what to do. But that's your preview of the Fury Warrior. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button, helps me out a great deal. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel here and check out all my other coverage, you can do so. Link to the full like 4-hour VOD is in the description box, as well as you can check out my channel guide for all my other previous coverage, or my playlist here on the stream, on the channel rather. On both, I guess, for all my other coverage. Maybe you can check out my Patreon page as well. I'm trying to make this my full-time job and be a streamer and content producer full-time. Maybe you can check that out. But if not, I'll see you on the live stream. I will see you in more YouTube videos, and have a great rest of your day.